You know, instead of socks and ties, I get a lot of these cookbooks, and this one here from Dale's Seasoning, some of the things that I look for are the way that they're going to blend the flavors, the way to get that food to have some movement to it, something that's known as umami, which is kind of a movement of flavors. So with Dale's Seasoning, the help here, we're going to get that in little bits of, well, think about like fireworks inside the burger. So what we're starting with is something smoky and savory. That's just a roasted red pepper. We did that right on the stove top. You can also do them underneath a broiler. We want something that's going to be a little bit sweet to go with the savory. So we've got some sun-dried tomatoes that I've reconstituted here, and I want to reinforce some of the smoke, but you know I like it spicy. Part of Culinary Nunnsense, we're bringing in some chipotles, and in order to make it a red, white, and blue burger, this is going to be the white and blue part right here. This is just blue cheese, which is actually going to go in the burger. And then to tie it all that together, we're going to use some of the Dales, and that's where we'll get started. So let's take 1 pound. I like ground beef. It's a little less fat, but you're also going to get a lot of flavor from some of these other ingredients. So with the Dales in there, let's get started. Actually, we'll go ahead and put some of the cheese in. It depends on how much cheese you like and how much flavor, but we're going with about a tablespoon here of crumbled up blue cheese. Sun-dried tomatoes, if you're looking for them at the grocery store, they're usually over by the fresh tomatoes in the produce area, and basically they're like little fruit roll-ups. They're kind of leathery, and if you reconstitute them, just heat up some water in a microwave or on a stove top, pop them in there for about 5 minutes. They get nice and soft again, so you're not biting into these little leather pieces, but they stay incredibly sweet, which makes it a nice addition here, especially when you're backing it up with a little bit of spice, which in this case is some chipotle and adobo. Now I've got about a half of the chipotle itself, which is the smoked jalapeno. We're going to take the fork and we're just going to mash that jalapeno into a nice little paste, including the adobo sauce, and then that too gets added right to the burger. And last but not least, we're going to put in just a little bit of the, again, reinforcing that smoky flavor, and that's going to come from the roasted red pepper, and that makes up the red to go with our white and blue. All right, this is the fun part. This is where we get a little bit messy to mix it all in there, including the cheese all the way through, so it starts to look like fireworks in the sky. Once everything is mixed all together, divide it. You can do it right in the bowl. And this is a pound, so I'm going to do 1/4 pound burgers, which with using ground beef instead of ground chuck, when you're done cooking them, still going to be close to 1/4 pound because you don't lose a lot of the extra fat as it cooks off into the heat. Now that our burgers are perfectly portioned, they're ready to go to the grill. And with that, let's get some burgers on the heat. The secret to getting those nice grill marks, number one, make sure you have a little oil on the grate. Make sure your grate is good and hot, and also give the burgers about 5 minutes on each side. That's going for, especially for a 1/4 pound burger, that'll give you the nice grill marks, and to make sure that it's perfectly cooked to a medium. If you want it well done, give it about 6 to 8 minutes per side, and you'll be good to go. And that right there is how I do my Dales in a burger that's as festive as the holiday. It's got those little bits and bangs that are going to come through. You got the boldness from the blue cheese. Remember, you can change that up any way you want. It's got the spiciness coming in from that smoked chipotle in the adobo, and then it's also got the little bit reinforcement there, also sweet and savory with the mix of the sun-dried tomatoes and that roasted red pepper. No matter how you do your Dales, whether it's the burger, using the red, white, and blue here, something out of the cookbook, I think if you put a little Dale seasoning and a little Culinary Nunnsense in the kitchen, you too will be saying there is none better.